Hey guys, welcome back to MBTV. This is Dan. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about dating the new age, improving your dating life for men. This is a new series that I've created. I want to get a lot into dating tips and material for you guys out there, guys specifically, and who it pertains to. How to date and just go about dating in the life that we're living now in the new age. It's a headache for a lot of people. A lot of people I'm running into just having like a really difficult time with dating. There's just more, especially in the environment I'm living in New York City. It's very competitive, but in an age where social media and dating sites are taking over the dating scene, it's less and less common to find somebody in the real world and to just kind of meet somebody in person, as strange as that may sound. So I'm going to go into a little bit about, what what dating is like for millennials today, for people who are older today. It's good and bad because you have power of online. You can meet people faster, you can go on dates more, a lot more. So there's more variety when it comes to women, and there's a lot more variety when it comes to men. Men and women nowadays are held to an even higher standard as well as expectation on how to carry themselves. So this is changing the game as we know it. People are becoming more precise with their dating life, their game. People are getting more frustrated. It's never been so hard to date. You'd think that it would be easier accessibility between knowledge and people. It just got way more difficult because people are held to a higher standard when they're going out on a date. There can be people out there right now who say, "Oh, didn't you see the video about this? Come on, you're on a date." While they're on the date, So everybody's a little bit more resourceful when it comes to online dating, when it comes to in-person dating. And yeah, there's just so much frustration. So what I really want to get into in this video is some common problems that we're having in dating today and some solutions that I have conjured up for you guys as a guy. So you're going to notice that going out to bars is not the best scene. Neither is clubs, unless you want hookups. Same with bars. You're going to find out more or not that within the world that we live in now, authenticity always rings bells. And the scenes where it's really mostly just for fun should stay fun. Not to say that you can't meet somebody at the bar or the club, but there's probably more preferable places you'd want to find somebody to be, a girl you'd want to be in a relationship or to sooner or later marry. So how can you find somebody who is suitable to date, to go on dates with, and B, how do you bypass the competition of all these other guys? And on the exact opposite, the narrowing down women do because of the abundance of men, reaching out to them. Online is, very difficult for the common guy. It's something like close to like on some of the dating apps I use, the average guy's picture only gets an average of 8% likes of the total viewing of that picture. 8% likes. So let's just say, put it into perspective, 100 girls like your photo, right? Only 8 of them, for the average guy, only 8 of them, 8 of those 100 will like your photo. 8%. So there's more of a standard, right, online and offline to really commit to this dating scene. You really got to commit, guys. I'm not joking around with this stuff. It's to be taken very seriously. Let's just say to combat online dating, for example, it's the same way you do it in offline. The best way to close somebody, to close a girl in person, it's the same you close online. You go in for the kill, you create a great profile online, you create a great presentation in person. You go in for the message online, and you go in for the day game or the night game in person. And a lot of people don't do this, and like, it's on YouTube, it's all over the place, but it's so true. You miss 100% of the possibilities, the opportunities, if you don't take them, right? And if you've ever been in sales, if you've ever had a sales job, you would know what I'm talking about. You legitimately lose out on all the sales that you've never even tried or assumed. Imagine you're in like a get-together, you're in an activities area, and there's women and men everywhere. You guys are doing some kind of hobby, and you notice that there's a girl all by herself, but she's coming off very timid, and she's all alone. Somebody could be talking to her, but nobody's talking to her. You need to take that opportunity to go out and meet her and to see where it's gonna go. You just have to do it. There's no other way that I can say it. You're gonna beat most of your competition if you go after the opportunities. You know, especially online, you have all these women who are just waiting for a guy like you, who's very cool, awesome, purposeful, authentic, to just reach out into that profile and message her something amazing. And you have the total competency for that. You have the power to do that. You just gotta do it. You gotta take that chance and see where it goes. Offline, you have that power as well. It's a little harder in person because you really need those skills right off the bat without knowing somebody. And we're gonna actually get into a little bit about that. So I just want to emphasize that for a solution, you gotta take your opportunities. You got to be authentic to who you are. As a guy, you need to invest in yourself. You need to know who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you really bring to the table when it comes to who you are. Is it your logic? Is it your sensibility to your environment, internal and external? Are you emotionally powerful and empathetic? Do you understand social situations very easy? Do people come natural to you? Do you gain a lot of really good insight? Are you intuitive? Do you have depth to you? All of these different attributes overline key characteristics of people in a general way. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses. You have to know what you're working with on an individual basis, and really think about those things. Because at the end of the day, in a world where dating in the new age is it's just as competitive as it ever has been, accessibility as to anybody that you want is there. You gotta be on your game. You have to know what you're working with. You have to stay true to who you are and really do you. So part of the dating game is being busy. You know, as a guy, I don't need to emphasize to you, if you don't have a purpose already, you should see my upcoming videos on purpose. Essentially, you know, building your own frame, right? When I say authenticity, you're on a date. You're going out on dates. You're dating, and if there's prerequisites to going out on dates, right? Part of me wants to say this because I feel like it's just inferred, but you need to have some kind of motivation in life, something that you give back to the world, something that makes you unique and purposeful, and it makes you different than all the other guys out there. You can be a magician, you can be a YouTuber, you can be a firefighter. You just have to do something that motivates you to help others, whether it's volunteering or it's a profession, something that really drives your purpose. This is gonna really establish a frame for you when you're going out on dates, because believe it or not, a girl really likes it when a guy's motivated about what they do. It's actually one of the most common things I find out on dating sites is that a girl really wants a guy who is motivational and ambitious with what they want to do. Not ambitious as far as competitive, but ambitious as far as they are very interested in something. They're driven for something, and they want to share that with somebody special and the world. Women really do like that. So you have to have some kind of presence with your purpose. There's a power behind it. I solely believe that if you have purpose, you have something that you're purposeful about, that motivates all different areas of your life. It just lights up. And this is exemplified when you meet women, when you go out on these dates, and they ask you, whether it's, even if they ask you on online dating, and they ask you, what do you do? You tell them straight up, I'm a freaking fireman, and I save lives, or I volunteer at the animal shelter, and I give pets a home, or whatever the case may be. I make puzzles, and I'm passionate about it. You know what I mean? You got to have something that you're motivated with, because that's a gun in the arsenal for you. And you have to remember, all these things that I'm mentioning just build up the power behind this gun. Imagine. So I wanted to get back to as far as availability. Along with purpose, your purpose takes up time, and your job probably takes up time. Most of the people, especially in the United States today, they work a ton of hours. So we can throw that whole millennials or lazy thing right out the window, because everybody I know works their ass off. So being available, especially in the dating arena, you don't want to be available to women. I feel like that's a given, but if you haven't done the research, I'm telling it to you right now. Do not be as available to women. Do not message them like day in and day out. Give yourself some time to really process if that's a girl that you'd be really interested in, right? When I say availability, I definitely mean be busy, and don't put women in first and foremost, and don't put women on a pedestal. Part of playing this dating game, and part of playing the dating world, it's knowing your own value within dating, and maintaining a value that women are seeking, right? And in later videos, I want to talk about what women are looking for in the ideal guy, which is not so hard to understand, but you will see a video like that coming up soon. There's going to be a ton of videos coming soon about that. So there's a lot of ways to create value, but I definitely want to emphasize to you, though, you have to do you. You have to find and figure out some kind of purpose that moves you, that drives you, that gives something back to the world. That's going to be the cornerstone of your power. Believe me when I say it. So let's get into value. Another solution to this whole dating thing is value. A lot of people don't know what I mean by value, and I'm going to read off some things, and then I'm going to go over them with you. So I conquered availability with you tonight. Availability meaning, you're busy, you're doing things that you want to do, that moves you, that makes you happy, that makes you excited, whether it's with hanging out with friends, doing something that's like purpose and motivating you, helping others. Be busy with some kind of project, create projects, grow on yourself, do something, go to the gym, work out. There's just so many things that you can do. Fill up your schedule where it's 90% your life, 10%, 5% women. Believe it or not, focus 5 or 10% on dating. But when it is that 10%, you're going all out, just as you are all the other things that you're doing, okay? You need a unique purpose, like I mentioned. You definitely need emotional wealth. Now, what does emotional wealth mean? I definitely mean the capacity to understand people, understand women, understand yourself. Because if you're going to go into the dating arena, you're going to have to understand and process your own feelings along with the other party's feelings. And this is kind of universal. This is both a male and female trait that you definitely need. But you need to have some sort of empathetic tool where you're able to recognize social dynamics when you're going out on dates. It's going to be a power for you. It's going to be able to give you that insight to how to maneuver yourself with dates, when to communicate effectively, avoid some other forms of communication. Emotional awareness and emotional power gives you that insight. So I would start learning and building how to be more emotionally present, more emotionally available. If you're an MBTI viewer, I'm referring to extroverted feeling and introverted intuition. Now, a lot of you guys are going to have other forms of interpreting social dynamics. Some of you are going to be sensors, where you're in your environment, you're able to read social cues on a physical level and not really care about what it means to you beyond that sense. So there's going to be other viewers where it's going to be another kind of function. You guys are going to be predominantly intuitives or feelers or thinkers maybe. Whatever your preference is, whatever your mode of preference is for dating or for yourself, for your personality, you gotta learn your weaknesses and strengths with emotional awareness and intuitive insight, because these things are really going to give you insight to where things would go in the long term and short term, how to read situations within the moment. And as far as a guy, you're going to really have to understand how to get in touch with your masculine power. And I don't mean just some egoic sense of masculinity that's very physical. No, I really mean getting into like things like your purpose, right? Becoming more engraved with your instinctual and primal urges, right? If you see a girl, you go after her. You don't worry about it. You just create the action. Being purposeful, knowing your role when it comes to dating, common courtesy. I call it the masculine edge, right? Because there's some sort of gratification as a guy when you're just kind of in your own energy. So I would explore what masculine energy means to you. It's going to mean a lot of different things to different people, but in the way that I'm phrasing it, it's a power inside of you that you know that you're masculine, and you have specific ways of releasing this energy into the environment for yourself and for other people to exemplify certain behavior. In dating, this is very important, because there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to want to be seen as a masculine figure, to create that polarity between masculine and feminine energy. And what that pretty much means is you need a polarity between opposites, masculine and feminine, to really create sexual tension between a partner. So this is really important, and I'll get more into these things in different videos. But it's really important that you start practicing more masculine behavior in terms of spirituality, in terms of what kind of feels intrinsic to you, what drives you in that way, what drives your purpose, what drives your decisiveness, right? So I would explore that if you can. And last but not least, be the confident gentleman. There's just so much talk nowadays about being the nice guy and then being the asshole. What about the guy in the middle? What about the confident asshole? What about the confident gentleman, as I say it? The confident gentleman is a combination between an individual male that gives gratitude when it is given, but can be borderline confident and arrogant at another. Confident gentleman is kind of the best of both worlds, and it's kind of what women kind of like want. They desire this kind of guy because they want a guy that's nice, but he's not nice all the time because he has his own value. He's not putting his woman on a pedestal. And the girl doesn't want just the straight up asshole, because then again she is getting both of just one of two worlds. She's getting the cocky arrogance, but it's too much, and therein lies a lot of issues in itself. The confident gentleman is courteous and chivalrous. He has asshole tendencies and nice person tendencies. So think about that and what that might mean to you. The confident gentleman. So those are some solutions that I have for dating in the new age. I think I've pretty much covered everything. So if you have any questions about what I've said today, please leave a comment down below. There's a lot going on. Join our website, mbtvcoach.com. You'll be able to see a lot more content there, as far as the forum site that we have and what we call the MBTV Slack live chat. It's like a chat room oriented area where people can talk about really cool stuff. We have a dating section there, and you can drop down there and see what's going on. Again, my name is Daniel. I'm a relationship coach and YouTube contributor to MBTV. Please subscribe. and follow us on social media. There's plenty of stuff and activity to follow. And I'll always see you soon, another day. Talk to you soon, guys.
Dive in to understand judgment function. The judgment function uses a set of criteria. This set is either subjective or objective. It is not complete without both, okay? As well as being logical or feeling based. And we'll talk about the difference in that in just a minute. So thinking or feeling in the Myers-Briggs world, Socionics world, is going to be logic or ethics. We'll dive into that in just a little bit, but I just want to make sure you guys understand I will be using the word criteria quite a bit because it's important that you guys are branding the way you're thinking about extroverted feeling, okay?